Hey guys, this is SF and welcome to Monster of the Week, and this week it is going to be the Transcendent form of Eclipse. In terms of abilities, there's only the addition of light resistance. The only really main change is the bump combo and the strike shot. So the bump combo is the same thing as Robin Hood. He is a power type, so it is a little bit lower than Robin Hood's normal attack, normal power, and then a speed up for the sub bump combo. And strike shot is a new strike shot. It's basically the same as Hunter King or Robin Hood, but it's just that it is off of damage walls and not any other types of walls, so you gotta be careful of that. But I'm going to be bringing it to Da Vinci, although she's a dark monster. There are a lot of damage walls, and it's mainly damage walls in that dungeon, so it's really good to use her strike shot, use Eclipse's strike shot, and then there are a lot of mobs, so it's really good for the mob clear from Eclipse's shockwave, all enemy shockwave. As you can see, there's a lot of them. So let's hit a lot of damage, and he has a speed up, so it's very good for some of your allies if you need the speed up. And what's really good is that it's on himself, and he is a power type, so you can, if you have a blast bump, then you can use it to speed himself up, which is very useful since he's a power type and he's very slow in general. But I'm not even sure if I can actually stall up for strike shots for this stage, but we will see. But as you can see, if you hit Eclipse, then he speeds himself up and then deals a lot of damage in general. Boom. And you can get more hits, and it's very good for his strike shot as well, because it depends on the damage walls. And let's try to stall. I'm not really caring about the speed clear that much, so let's try stalling. It is very short relatively. It is 18 turns for the first gear and then +4 for the second gear, so it's not that bad, and it does a lot of damage if you can get the right positioning. So let's stall a little bit. And even with just two of them, the shockwave did about 200k, and most of it didn't even hit the weak spot. In terms of dungeons, he's just better in general of all the dungeons he used to be good at. So Izanagi, Fenrir, Sasaki, she is basically top tier material for those dungeons now. And the new one is Doom, the War God Doom. You can use the damage walls for his strike shot, and it does a ton of damage. And why I like Eclipse is that he is mainly damage, but there is that utility from that speed up that is really good, and it synergizes really well and helps him out with the demerit of his power type. So, and just having a ton of Eclipses on one team is basically godly. So you have multiple Eclipse, don't fuse them together, because you're gonna regret it. Because you can bring a full Eclipse team, like a full Eclipse team, and of all 4 Eclipses, and then you can basically wreck house, just connect the dots, and it will basically wreck any dungeon that of course has damage walls in it, because his strike shot would be really useless if it doesn't. So strike shots is pretty much stalled up, so I'm gonna breeze my way through to the boss stages. Okay. But in terms of cons, there's not much cons. Of course, he is a power type and he's slow, but I guess you need an extra slot for a blast bump monster. In this case, it is Aladdin. So you might want to, so it's not as good if you want an extra power, if you want extra damage in that dungeon, or if you don't have like a good no damage wall blast bump monster or a no warp blast bump monster. Okay, I'm just going to try to take off the shields at least, although it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so the first bar is relatively squishy. Da Vinci is relatively squishy. But in terms of dark monsters, Some people say he rivals the likes of Lucy. I can see it. But Lucy just does a lot more in terms of non-damage wall dungeons. So, like, her energy circle damage outclasses Eclipse like by far, but Eclipse's strike shot damage and the utility he brings is way better than Lucy in terms of like damage walls and warp dungeons. Okay. Hopefully I don't wreck it too much to actually get a strike shot off. Let's see. Let's do a strike shot without the damage wall and see how much it does. So not that much without the damage wall. So only 500k and only hit a little bit in terms of the weak spot. Should I save it for... it's not that bad. Let's strike shot. And of course, I can hit Eclipse for the speed up. Woohoo! 2 shots. Only 2 bumps and it did 1 million. Even less than 1 million. But 2 shots. Very, very good. And that was without weak spot pretty much. So, very, very strong. And let's finish this off. It would have been better to use it on the last stage where she has more health, but it's really hard with the shields in the way. Nice, not bad, not bad, not bad. And then Takayasha for the finish. There we go. So Eclipse in general, big improvements. He has that utility of a speed up for himself as well as the allies. He is a power type, so use the speed up to move him faster, and it works really well with his strike shot, which is the same thing like a wall bouncing strike shot, but it has to be damage walls and not just any other walls. So that's the little demerit, but it does a lot more than a normal wall bouncing strike shot if you can hit the damage walls. And if you bring multiple Eclipses, then he can speed himself up, and then his bump combo of all enemy lock-on shockwave does a lot of damage as well. So if you have an Ableberry, for Ableberry people, then bring like a Psychic, and then like probably like Kin Speed or a Kin Strength for his strike shot, and that will be really, really strong. Eclipse is a very strong monster, probably in the top 5 in Dark Monsters in my opinion, but that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.